My name is Althea Greaney. Welcome back to this edition of the Simsbury View, a show that is designed to go behind the scenes of our town to learn more about what makes it unique. Today's topic was suggested by a grandmother and concerns keeping children safe in automobiles. Cars are dangerous places, especially for children. To help minimize the risk of injury, scientists and technicians have developed child passenger safety devices. But to work, they have to be properly installed. Simsbury's Police Department is one of a few that offer inspections of children's car seats. Two of the Simsbury Police Department's child passenger safety technicians are here today to tell us the best practices to keep our children safe. Elizabeth Sagan is a civilian child passenger safety technician and records clerk. Officer Tracy Dunne is a member of the Simsbury Police Force and also certified as a child passenger safety technician. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Tracy, how long has Simsbury been offering this particular service to its residents?
The Simsbury Police Department has been offering the car seat inspection service for over 11 years. I actually came from a different PD, Suffield PD, where we had the program there also, and I was excited that when I transferred to Simsbury, the program was in place, and we continued to make it grow.
Wonderful. How many technicians are currently at the Simsbury Police Department that offer their help in these car inspections?
Currently, we have 6 certified technicians, and we're all on different shifts, so the availability for appointments is even greater.
Oh, okay. So that's really good. Now, you mentioned appointments, and I know I should be going to a different question, but these appointments, are they made through the police department, or how do people make these appointments?
Through the police department. If you contact the police department, we do have a car seat line, and the dispatcher or whoever answers the phone can direct you, or the person that needs an appointment for that.
But we need to be clear. That's not a 911 call. That's a regular call to 658-3100?
Correct.
Okay, good. We don't want people calling 911. This is not an emergency. This is strictly a service type of thing. And is there a charge for this inspection?
There is no charge.
This is free?
It's a complimentary service that we provide to keep children safe.
Okay. Elizabeth, how long have you been doing these car seat inspections?
I received my certification in 2013, January of 2013.
So this year?
This year,
Okay.
coming up on my 1 year anniversary. And in this 1 year, I have installed approximately 80 car seats.
Wow. That's a lot of car seats.
Yeah.
All right. And you mentioned that you had to get certified. What does that entail?
Yeah, there is, to get certification, it's a 1 week long training that you go to. It's 40 hours. Mm-hmm. It's practical, so it's hands-on, working with all the different types of car seats, written, so there's a lot of lecture. And at the end of the class, we do have a written test that you need to pass to be able to get your certification.
Okay.
So.
Is there a requirement that you have to then be recertified every
Yeah,
year?
you have to maintain your certification and get your recertification every 2 years. And in order to do that, we have to have 5 seats done and then approved by our technician. Mm-hmm. Was he a technician?
A certified instructor, which
there's
very few of those in the state. So we have to make sure that we find a certified instructor to approve our seat re-inspections. Mm-hmm. And then we also have to do a community event, which is like hosting a car seat clinic or a type of an educational program for a daycare or another avenue. And we also have to do CEUs, which are the continuing education, kind of like a teaching certification.
Okay.
Articles, try to keep up on the seats because the seats change so frequently every year that it's really important for us to maintain our certification because we have to also keep up on all the new equipment and
new
laws, new
technology these days.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because things change so quickly. I mean, not even just the car seats change, but the cars themselves change.
Right.
So, just the whole gamut there. You guys have to know probably cars that are 10 years old up to the current day, and then car seats. And we'll get back to the car seats because that's a whole nother issue there, I would think, because this car seat looks a lot different from the car seat that I used for my daughter 19 years ago.
Right.
And I can't imagine that you would even allow a car seat that was 19 years old to be used currently.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. No. Car seats do have an expiration date. If you look either in the back, on the side, or underneath, there should be a label on your car seat which will state when it was manufactured. And the year it was manufactured, the car seat is good only for 6 years. After that, it needs to be disposed of, whether it be recycled or thrown in the trash. And that's another issue that we seem to find with tag sales, consignment shops, is that the child seat that they have available might be expired, or even if it's in a crash. If you're in a motor vehicle crash of 20 miles an hour or more, the car seat needs to be replaced. Even if the child's not in the car seat at the time of the crash, it needs to be replaced. It can be compromised, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize. So we do find that hand-me-down car seats aren't always the best option to go for.
Okay, so if somebody's just starting out and they have a child that's already 6 and they're pregnant again, they probably need to think about replace everything.
They definitely would.
And if anybody has a question about an expiration date, they can always contact us at the Simsbury Police Department to answer the questions.
Okay, great. I think that's something that we needed to get out there right away too.
Definitely.
So let's see, we said call the police department to make an arrangement for an inspection. And when we were speaking earlier, you had told me that the law states that children, newborns to 1-year-old, have to be in rear-facing seats.
Yes.
But that the reason you're here today is because a friend of mine went to visit you who has a 1-year-old, and she was going to have the seat turned around. And you told her that
my recommendation was not to do that this early. The Connecticut state law does say that the children have to be a minimum of 1 year old and 20 pounds, and then they can be turned forward facing. Us as technicians have a different set of recommendations that we like to use, that being the children are too young and they haven't developed at 1 year old. So we like to see them rear facing for as long as possible. Our recommendation is up till they're 2 years old, or they meet the height or weight limit of their rear-facing car seat.
Okay. So each car seat comes with a specific weight and height limit?
Correct.
So depending on which car seat you purchase, you have to actually read your manual?
Yep. They usually have a sticker, a label on the side of the car seat with a little cheat sheet, and that'll tell you the height and weight limit of the car seat for rear facing and for forward facing. So it's definitely in the best interest of the child to keep them rear facing for as long as possible. My teacher had told me that the best way to describe it for parents is that their bones haven't solidified at 1 year old. The children's skull is in 4 different plates, and that skull hasn't merged into one at 1 year old. So being forward facing, if they are in a crash, their range of motion, their forward range of motion is greater, which can cause an increase in brain injury because they don't have the rear facing car seat to kind of cradle them during that crash, which will prevent the brain from getting too much motion. So we'd like to say, as long as you can feel the soft spot on the child's head, then we recommend you keep them rear facing.
Okay.
Unless they've met the height and weight requirement of their car seat, then we do put them forward facing.
Right, because you don't have any choice.
We don't have any choice at that point.
The car seat won't protect them anyway in the rear facing. Okay. So what are some of the problems that you see with people who bring in car seats that they've installed themselves?
Problems that I've seen, the number one problem that I have seen is when people are having a newborn baby, they like to put them in the center seat because that is statistically the safest place. If you are in a side collision crash, you would want them in the center seat. Cars now have latch anchors that are available, which makes it easier for you to install your car seat because you don't have to use the actual car's seatbelt to do that. But a lot of parents are using one latch anchor from each outboard because the latch system actually is not available in the center seat of the vehicle, but because if you look at it and you eyeball it, they look like they're almost close enough, but they're not. So that's one issue that I've definitely seen that people have done. They've installed them improperly that way.
Are they doing that because they're afraid of their side airbags deploying and hurting their child?
Yeah, they think that the safest place is in the center. So that's where they want to put them. It's not necessarily because of the airbag, it's just that they want that buffer of the vehicle for the child's
safety. Yeah. And also probably it's easier to, from entrance, you can then put 2 people on the outside.
Sure.
And then you have the doors, you can get at the child from either angle probably. But that's not a good, not best practices, don't do it.
That you can't do. We always tell people to check your vehicle's manual to see if the latch is actually available. The newer cars, we're finding that they are making it available. So definitely check your manual. If it's not stated that it's specifically allowed for the center seat, do not install the car seat with the latch system. Use the seatbelt.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you mostly see people who are like expecting babies coming in to see you, or people with newborns only, or do you see people returning with the bigger car seats?
We see a lot of a difference. I mean, there's a lot of people with the newborns are coming in, the expecting parents. I would say majority are those, but we also see a high amount of grandparents that are taking care of the grandchild. Also, kids that are right in between the booster seat or staying in the convertible seat. So we have a pretty wide range of people that come in.
Okay. So it's not just the car seats too, but are you also certified for booster seats?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I had no problem getting the car seat installed 19 years ago, but 4 years later when I was trying to get the booster in, I was like, how in the heck do you do this? Because those, back then, it was just like plastic seat with a little like latch across, and then you put the seatbelt across through it, and it's like, it was crazy. But it would have been nice.
They're a little bit more complicated nowadays. That might have been easy in comparison to what we've seen now. Because some of the booster seats, you have to thread through the actual car's seatbelt through the booster seat to keep it installed so it doesn't move. It's basically permanently installed as long as the seatbelt is hooked up. And then you have the 5-point harness in the front as the child's seatbelt, which those I like. Those are the safest methods of keeping the kids in the car seats, because the actual car's seatbelt, unless it's fitting properly, it could cause more harm than good. You have to make sure that the child is actually developed and grown to the point where the seatbelt fits them properly.
Right. Yeah, actually that 5-point harness for a booster seat sounds like a really great idea.
It's the safest thing. If cars can manufacture them for adults to have them, that would be even better, because it is the safest method.
I don't like that crossover thing. It's always gotten in the way.
We're all different sizes, so for what would fit for me, when my husband gets in the car, it doesn't fit for him, so there's always adjustment going on, and if you fail to do that, you can cause injury to yourself if your seatbelt isn't in the proper position. So,
well, now that we've almost gone into adult seatbelts, we had discussed also the fact that for women who are expecting, there is a critical issue about making sure that their seatbelt is properly positioned. Could you just describe where and how that should work?
Yes. For women that are pregnant, we want them to sit as far away from the steering wheel as possible because of the airbag, for one. So not only do you want to be as far back as possible, we also would like them to tilt their steering wheel up more towards their face as opposed towards their chest. So if it does employ, it doesn't hit them directly in the abdomen. As far as their seatbelt is concerned, you want the shoulder strap to go over the front of your chest and off to the side. You don't want it to go on top of your belly. So you want it to be across the shoulder and off to the side. And the lap part of the seatbelt, you want it as low on the abdomen as possible. So that being said, right now with people wearing winter jackets, we do recommend open your jacket, pull it out from the sides a little bit so that your lap belt does go on the lowest part of your abdomen. You don't want it directly across the top of your belly.
So probably as close to your hip bones as possible.
Yes.
Okay. So it's just
a lot to think about.
A lot to think about, yeah. Do people need to be residents of Simsbury to use your services?
No, we offer the service to other towns. We've noticed that there aren't very many surrounding towns that do have a program like ours with the availability of hours and appointments. So we try to make accommodations for Simsbury residents first, and we do take outside appointments. We've done car seats for New Hartford, for Suffield, for East Granby, for Massachusetts.
Wow.
We've had,
Okay.
so it's out there that we do them because we've had a lot of different
It's
people come
probably
in.
just by word of mouth, I would think, because I may have heard something about it, but not until my neighbor called me and said, you have to do this, you have to talk to Elizabeth. She said, you have to, and you have to get this out there, you have to get this information out there because, she knew about the service, but she didn't know about best practices.
Right.
And that was what she was like, this is important news that grandparents, parents, expectant parents, everybody really needs to know about. So that you offer it to anybody who calls is really, really great. Okay. What advice do you have for a person, a family, that already has a child, already in a car seat, and they're expecting twins?
Do your homework. Do your homework. They're going to want to get out there, and they're going to want to go online and read. They're going to want to go to the store. I'd bring a measuring tape with you because you want to make sure you know the length of your rear seat and the length of the existing car seat that they have for the toddler. And do your homework. You want to get out there. You want to measure. You want to make sure that you're going to get the proper fit. There are seats that are available. We've done it. We've done 3 across in the back.
Wow.
It's a little tight, but if you do your homework and you get the proper seat, it can work.
Okay.
But basically, it's getting out there and trying it because every car seat's going to fit different in every different type of vehicle, and there are many different types of car seats that do have different shapes, so that you can make it work. But definitely, you're just going to have to trial and error it and actually take them out of the boxes and try to install it and make sure they're installed properly for the best fit.
And that's what we notice a lot of people don't do is they don't take the time to read the instruction manuals, read their vehicle manuals, take the car seats out of the box and actually
Try and fit them in.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've had people maybe come to have a car and
With
car
3
seat
seats
installed?
across and a
box,
small Subaru still in the box.
Car seats are still in the box and they haven't even attempted to put them in.
Wow. All right.
So, but then we just send it back to the store.
I don't want to make this an advertisement for a car seat or anything, but are there any best practices for somebody who's out looking for a car seat?
We don't really recommend a specific brand or a specific seat. We try to provide the best information. Again, that's going back to explaining to the parents to do their research, go to the stores, read consumer reports, and really find the best seat for their child and the best seat that fits their vehicle.
Okay. I see you've brought your car seat and your little demo baby with us. Would you like to show us how this particular car seat would work to get the child in and out of it?
Definitely. And this is one thing that I do like to go over with the parents, because it's one thing to have a car seat installed safely and another to actually put your child in and out safely. So the most important thing that I find is that parents get to use this button down here, which releases the harness. So you can pull the harness out far away from the child. So you can get them in and out safely. Without hyperextending their shoulders.
Oh, that's nice. It goes right away from the baby.
So it comes right away from the baby, so you can get baby out without doing any injuring to their shoulders. And then another important thing is that I like to make sure parents know that they need to make sure that the baby's bottom is pushed as far back on the car seat as possible, and their back is flat up against it. And once they get in, making sure that the harness is up over the baby's shoulder and up over the top of the thigh. And again, you can do all your buckling and clicking away from the baby, because as the baby grows and gets little triple chins and rolls in their thighs, you don't want to pinch their skin.
Right.
So you can get that done all the way from the child. And make sure you pull out the slack on top of the thigh. You don't want any hidden slack anywhere. And then you use your strap down here to tighten the car seat.
All right.
And a proper install, you don't want to be able to pinch the harness.
Okay.
You want to be able to slightly put your hand in back of it, but not pinch. So if the car seat was loose and you can do this, then you're not installed properly.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that's nice and tight. And again, I'll talk about the harness. You want to make sure that the harness is at or slightly below the shoulders of the child. You don't want it way below or well above the child.
Okay. Oh, that's nice because we've got all those little slots in there for as the child grows.
Yeah, as the child grows, you're going to rethread your harness and move it up as they grow.
Okay, so this isn't a one and done type deal. You need to continually look at your child and look at your car seat, make sure that everything is still in its proper position and
Definitely.
and everything is growing with the child.
Definitely.
That's another reason why we also want the parent to read the instruction manual when they buy their seat, so that they know the seat when they come to us, and they'll better understand when we're showing them how to use their seat and install it.
And you guys are always available?
Always available. I actually recommend it. If anybody is having an issue, even as simple as a twist, sometimes the actual harness clip can get twisted on the harness strap, and we have little tricks of the trade that we do to turn them around and get them properly fixed.
I had a question because I've noticed a lot of people walking around carrying their babies in their car seats. Are most of the new car seats where they have a base that's in the car and then the car seat itself is removable? Is that like most of them?
The infant carriers.
That's the infant carrier.
Yeah, the infant carriers. They have a base that's permanently attached into the car, and then their infant carrier, they can take the baby in and out. Actually, and put it into a stroller. Some of them have that capability of clicking right into a stroller, so you don't ever have to disturb them.
Okay, well, it makes it nice, but I see a lot of really strong mothers.
Definitely. I think they do go up to
35
pounds,
Wow.
which between the child and the weight of the car seat, it does get to be a bit much. We see them coming into their convertible seats a lot sooner than they reach the weight limit of the infant seats because it is quite trying on the mom's backs.
Right, and arms and everything.
Yeah.
So this seat here would be suitable for an infant through, well, I would say probably 2, maybe 3 years old.
This is what we call a convertible seat. It's good from right when they're 5 pounds, so as soon as they come home from the hospital, they could actually come home in a seat like this.
Okay.
Just
Well, with some additional
rear-facing.
support on the thing and rear facing.
And rear facing.
So is there anything else that you would like for people to know about what services you provide as far as, keeping children safe, keeping people safe?
Correct.
Are there any other inspections that you do or anything that's coming up that you want people to be aware of?
We normally do a car seat clinic yearly. We just had one in June.
Okay.
We also did one for Chubb. But basically, if you have any questions, we do provide services pretty much 7 days a week, depending on availability of the officers and the technicians. And all you have to do is call the PD, and you can leave a message with the car seat line, and we will return your call or answer any questions.
Okay, great. Well, can't believe this. I just knew we would run out of time. For more information or an inspection appointment, you may contact Simsbury Police Department Child Passenger Safety Technicians at 860-658-3180. Officers Tracy Dunne, Brad Chase, Elizabeth Maher, Lauren Devon, Dispatcher Johanna Camacho, or Records Clerk Elizabeth Sagan are available to assist you. Additional information can be found at www.nhtsa.gov and www.safekids.org, or you can check our Simsbury website also. Our director today is Jason Staples, our camera operator is Joe Gigenti, and production support is provided by SCTV staff Karen Hanville, Phyllis Fishberg, and Jason Staples. The Simsbury View is produced by Dominique Avery. I'm Althea Greaney. Thank you for watching the Simsbury View. Have a great day.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.